We have got to talk about this. Silver price is moving lower once again, but this time it's different. Buy your gold and silver online from SD Bullion. New customers get gold or silver at spot by visiting sdbullion.com/new. Thank you so much for watching. I do sincerely appreciate it. We are talking about silver price today. We're talking about why it's down and why this is different from what silver normally does. Okay, that was kind of a mouthful, but let's just look at what silver's doing right now. So as you can see, it is down 40 cents on the day, which is a pretty substantial drop. We are now sitting at $22.67. So we are decisively below that $23 mark once again. Now, this is not abnormal for the year or even the month. We can see silver's been down to $22.31, $22.19, $22.08, right? So nearing like $21-ish. But yeah, we're down below 23 again. Gold is doing something different than silver. Let's take a look at gold. You can see gold is down today as well, but it is just down a tiny skosh, a smidge, whatever you want to call it. Gold is down $3.32, sitting at $2,037. So gold is still well above that $2,000 mark. Gold seems to be basically at its bottom. Gold is having a hard time moving below 2,000, and I think it's going to stay above 2,000 for quite some time. Gold did briefly go below 2,000 on February 13 and 14, little Valentine's Day present for those of you wanting to pick up more gold. But ever since then, it's been above 2,000, and in fact, we got to go all the way back to December to see the last time it was below $2,000. So I think gold is going to hold strong and pretty much put in the bottom right where it is now, and hopefully move up from here for those of us who are stacking and want to see the price go up. Obviously, if you're still picking up gold, you want to see the price go down. But for silver, I mean, this is kind of crazy. Gold pretty much flat for the day. Silver, big drop. So what's going on here? Why is it doing something different than what it normally does? Well, if we take a look at the US dollar index, you can see that the dollar is moving down today. What? The dollar is going down and silver is going down? This is the crazy thing, because almost always silver does the opposite of whatever the dollar is doing. So this is what is outside the norm. Usually when silver's going down, we take a look at the dollar, and it's basically always going up, but not today. So something is going on. If we look at the 5-day chart for the dollar, we can see it's basically flat over the last 5 days. I mean, it is down slightly. If we go to 1 month, it's still up for the month, but either way, why is the dollar going down today and silver going down at the same time? There were basically two different pieces of economic data that were released today. One of them is the new home sales. You can see the headline here. Gold market remains under pressure as U.S. new home sales rise 1.5% in January, missing expectations. New home sales increased 1.5% last month to a seasonally adjusted annual sales rate of 661,000 homes. The sales rate was slightly weaker than expected as consensus forecasts look for a sales rate of 681,000. These numbers are really close. I mean, this is not crazy data. This isn't going to have a huge impact on the dollar, right? But essentially, it's still saying, look, people are still buying new homes, right? I mean, rates are high, but even though they are high, people are still able to afford these new homes. So we don't really need to, start slashing rates right away, which is kind of why silver is dropping, I believe. There was one other piece of economic data that was released today. It is the Texas Manufacturing Outlook Survey. And this is put out by the Federal Reserve Bank of Dallas. You can see right here, February 26, 2024. The headline, Texas manufacturing activity stabilizes in February. Also right down here, the near zero reading suggests flat output month over month. So again, this is not crazy data. This is not really going to have a big impact on the dollar at all. So the dollar is essentially going down today simply because the other currencies that it's weighted against are up slightly. It doesn't really have anything to do with these economic reports that were released. At least that's my opinion and my stance. I think these are so minimal that they're not affecting the dollar. However, they're just big enough to start affecting metals, to start affecting silver, to start affecting the Fed and what the Fed is likely going to do in coming months. Because if you've been listening to my videos, I've been saying I think the Fed and what they are doing with rates will have the biggest impact on silver. When we move over to the CME Group Fed Watch tool, you can see they are predicting for March that rates are going to stay the same. It's almost a sheer certainty. So 97.5% chance of no rate change whatsoever. In May, they're saying 81.4% chance that rates will stay the same. So we're probably not going to see any rate change in May either. And then when we move to June, they're finally saying it's more likely than not that rates will start going down. However, 41% chance that rates will still stay the same in June. And obviously, more economic data is going to come out before the June meeting. We're going to know inflation for March, April, etc. So they're going to get all of this data, which will help them to decide if they should slash rates or not. So it's possible that they still won't lower rates in June. We may have to wait until July. In July, they're saying 17.7% chance that rates stay the same. So it's likely, it's pretty likely that by July rates will start going down, and this is when I think silver is going to start taking off, and the anticipation of rates going down will also help silver to start taking off. So I think with these lower prices, we should really be taking advantage of them. We should see them as a blessing. So what was weird about the price drop today? Well, it was simply that silver went down and the dollar went down at the same time. This is very strange. This is not normal. But when we look at the economic data that was released today, it makes sense. The data was not strong enough to move the needle for the dollar, but it was strong enough to move the needle for silver. So it's kind of walking that line, and this is kind of rare that stuff like this happens. So like I was saying before, with the lower silver price, I like to take advantage of the dips. I like to buy when the price is going down. Whenever I see red for silver, this is telling me buy, 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 because I think that ultimately silver can go much, much higher than it is right now. So anyway, that's the video. Feel free to put your thoughts down below in the comment section. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you all in my next one. Silver Dragons out.